Okay, we're going to continue to look at quadratic equations, but different ones than we've looked at and probably easier. Okay, let's start with example 1. X squared plus 5x equals 0. Okay, we're looking to take out the highest common factor. Okay, so these are easier, right? So what can we take common factor wise? Well, number wise there's nothing to take, but we can take a letter. So from x squared and x we can take a highest common factor of x. Alright, so then x times what gives me x squared? That's x, and x times what gives me 5x? That's 5. Why is that? Well, x times x is x squared, and x times 5 is 5x. So I've got x bracket x plus 5 equals 0. Now what that means is that could be 0 or that could be 0. So x could be 0 or x plus 5 could be 0. So take that over to the other side. That's x equals minus 5, and that's it, question done. Okay, example 2. X squared minus 6x equals 0. Okay, so what can I take this time? Well, what's the highest common factor? Well, from x squared and x I can take out x. X times what gives me x squared? That's x. X times what gives me 6x? That's 6. X equals 0 or x minus 6 equals 0. Bring that across and that will be x equals 6. Okay, example 3. G squared minus 9g equals 0. Okay, so what can I take there? I can take g. G times what gives me g squared? That's g. G times what gives me 9g? That's 9 with a minus in the middle, which means g equals 0 or g minus 9 equals 0. Bring that across, change its sign, and g equals 9. So two answers then, g equals 0, g equals 9. Example 4. Example 4, let's go for 7p minus p squared equals 0. Okay, so what's my highest common factor? It's definitely p. P times what gives me 7p, that's 7. P times what gives me p squared, that's p. Okay, so I've got p equals 0 or 7 minus p equals 0. Okay, so let's deal with this one. 7 minus p equals 0. So if you think about that, 7 take away something equals 0. So 7 take away something equals 0. What must the something be? Well, the something's p. 7 take away something equals 0. What's 7 take away 7? 7 take away 7 equals 0. That means p must be 7. So my two answers this time are p equals 0, p equals 7. Okay, example 5. Let's go for 4t plus t squared equals 0. Okay, highest common factor of t. T times what gives me 4t? 4. T times what gives me t squared? T. T bracket 4 plus t equals 0. So t equals 0 or 4 plus t equals 0. Okay, so 4 plus, bring that to the other side, change its sign, and I get t equals minus 4. Let's try an example 6. Example 6. 2x squared plus 8x equals 0. Okay, what's my highest common factor this time? Well, I can take more than x. I can also take, from 2 and 8, I can take 2. So I take 2, but I also take x. So that's taking the highest common factor. You take as much as possible, so you take the number bit and you take the letter bit. From 2 and 8 I can take 2, and from x squared and x I can take x, so I can take 2x. 2x times what gives me 2x squared? Well, that's x, because 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times what gives me 8x? That's 4. So now I've got that equals 0 or that equals 0. So I've got 2x equals 0 or x plus 4 equals 0. X equals 0 over 2. X equals 0. Bring that over to the other side, change its sign, and that will be x equals minus 4. Okay, example 7. Let's go for 6x squared minus 12x equals 0. Okay, from 6 and 12 I can take 6. From x squared and x I can take x, so I can take 6x. 6x times what gives me 6x squared? That's x. Minus in the middle. 6x times what gives me 12x? That's 2. Okay, so 6x equals 0, or x minus 2 equals 0. X equals 0 over 6, x equals 0. Bring that over, change its sign, and x equals 2. Example 8. Example 8, 5p squared minus 10p equals 0. So from 5 and 10 I can take 5, from p squared and p I can take p. 5p times what gives me 5p squared. That's p. Minus in the middle, 5p times what gives me 10p. That's 2. Okay, so that gives me 5p equals 0, or p minus 2 equals 0. Let's move up here. P equals 0 over 5, and p is equal to 0. Bring that over, change its sign. P is equal to 2. Okay, example 9. Example 9, let's go for 12x squared minus 3x equals 0. Okay, so from 12 and 3 I can take 3. From x squared and x I can take x. 3x times what gives me 12x squared? Well, 3 up to 12, that would be 4, and x up to x squared, that's x. So 3 4s are 12, and x times x is x squared. So 3x bracket 4x minus 3x times what gives me 3x? That's just 1. If you think about it, that makes sense. 3 times 4 is 12. X times x is x squared. Minus in the middle, 3x times 1 is 3x. So now I've got that could be 0, or that could be 0. So 3x equals 0, or 4x minus 1 equals 0. X equals 0 over 3, x equals 0. Bring that over, change its sign. 4x equals 1, or x equals 1 over 4. Final answer. Okay, example 10. Example 10, let's go for 6x squared minus 10x equals 0. Okay, now from 6 and 10, what can I take? Well, think about 6 and 10. What's your factors of 6? 1, 2, 3 and 6. From 10, what's your factors? 1, 2, 5 and 10. What's the highest common factor? It's definitely 2. Now what can I take from x squared and x? I can definitely take x, so I can take 2x. 2x times what gives me 6x squared? Well, 2 up to 6, that's 3, since 2 times 3 is 6, and x up to x squared, well, that's x times x. So 2x bracket 3x minus, and 2x times what gives me 10x, that's 5, equals 0. So now I've got 2x equals 0, or I've got 3x minus 5 equals 0. X equals 0 over 2, which is 0. Bring that over, change its sign. 3x equals 5, and x equals 5 over 3. Final answer. Okay, so you're going to have a go at these ones. So try those 11, and then we'll pick that up tomorrow.